very warm-hearted, loving person. I find joy in little things, It could be the sound of the rain, it could be the color of the sky. I also am a people's person. I love celebrating. So having people over and talking to people, chit-chatting, gossiping. I love reading and traveling. And professionally, I'm a little different. I am more result oriented, focused, and someone who demands perfection when it comes to interiors. So people who know me professionally might think that I'm completely different as a person, but yeah, that's what I am as a person. So I was a very creative child. So I remember making my own dollhouse. I remember creating dresses for my Barbies. I remember making my own kitchen set out of clay. I remember making small notebooks all covered in that brown paper, like exactly how our notebooks used to be. So I was very creative, always busy doing creative things, and that made it very evident that I was going to be a designer. And while growing up through the years, there were some few options that I had. Jewelry design was one of them, since my dad is into jewelry. Then furniture design, architecture, and then interiors. When it came to picking my mainstream, I picked interiors because I think, fascinated by how spaces worked and all the detailing that goes in doing up the spaces. So as far as I remember, I've been a designer all my life till date. The challenges I faced as an interior designer to start my own business was that when we study in university and when we are working even as an intern, we are never taught the business side of design, and that is very, very important. I think it sort of just gets missed out during the entire process of learning design, where so much concentration is only on designing that we forget that once we are a designer, how do we run a business and what are the steps that need to be followed. So for anyone who is a new designer who wants to start their own business, I would say that now you have a lot of things that you can do and things are much easier as well. Again, give a lot of importance to your social media platforms. They are very important to get business, for your own recognition. It is very important. Things that we didn't learn, say, in school and colleges. Accounts is another thing, any designer, whether if a freelancer or someone who is looking to start their own practice, has to know how to learn. As designers, I'm sure most of you never went to an accounts course. I would suggest do that, because you'll be able to read your books, you'll be able to see how the taxation system in India works. These are all smaller aspects other than design, that are actually the bigger aspects other than design, which are already good at, that help you in running your own business if you are looking to start your own practice. One of my very close family friends and a fellow interior designer, his name is Ketan Seth. He insisted when I came back after my masters that now you've worked with renowned architects, you've worked with a lot of designers, it's high time you start your own business. And I was still very young, I wasn't sure, but he placed a lot of conviction in me and literally pushed me to start my own business with no clients, no sort of a backing in Mumbai. I had just moved from Calcutta, but the faith that he showed in me helped me start my own business. So I believe I give a lot of credit to him for having started my own setup in the first place. And after that, it was friends, family who again showed faith, gave me projects, got some of my first clients are some of our closest friends, and that push really helped. And then obviously, as they saw results, the chain of projects just kept coming in, and that's what's helped us come to where we are today. My first break, I would call, is literally a 1 BHK apartment. Though it was a small space, we had the client gave us the freedom to do whatever we liked, and that was something. It's like a dream come true for a designer, right? Where there's no control over what you want, you can design. And so I had so much fun designing that project, because firstly it was my first project, so it'll always be close to my heart, and secondly because we had the freedom. We were able to tilt the walls, we were able to create spaces which were for a small space like that, which were very unconventional. So that I would call is my first break, and that project also got published. So that really gave us a boost. I believe every design project is almost like, how a tree grows. There's a seed, and then the design, it keeps growing over a certain number of years. For a design project, I treat it like that, where the beginning of the project, understanding the client's requirements and putting that on paper. I believe space planning, and especially in a city like Mumbai, where every inch counts, is very important for a designer. And we pay a lot of importance to the space planning when it comes to designing a space. We make sure not a single inch is wasted. That's where I believe our forte is. We start from the foundation of the project. If the space planning is correct, if it is functional for all the requirements that the client has asked for, I think the rest follows, and the project then goes in layers and layers over a period of time for the final finish. I believe that space planning and detailing are the two most important things for a project that any designer pays attention to. Luxury interiors, I think, is booming. I believe is booming because now we have so many brands available in India. We have from lighting to furniture to a lot of materials, everything is getting more and more available. In interior design, I feel with the availability of so many brands and so many different materials available, I feel that like luxury is going to another level. The only difference is that now we don't think a lot more in terms of decoration, which earlier and even today some interiors reflect a lot of decoration, but I feel that we are moving away from that trend. Indian clients are realizing that less is more, that one piece of furniture is enough to look nice in a space. It's becoming easier for us to convince them that we don't need to add a lot of materials, we don't need to add a lot of design in, say, ceilings and walls, and where every wall has to have something on it in terms of paneling and stuff. So I think it's becoming more simple and luxurious and richer but minimal is what I'd call it. I draw inspiration from anything. So it could be nature, it could be while traveling, it could be doodling while on a car drive. So inspiration is everywhere. I believe it's everywhere. However, there has been a recent shift, again thanks to the social media platforms. I feel that now we are open to even drive information and inspiration from other designers, and it is okay because there are so many people who are doing such great work, and that itself is so inspiring that that keeps me going. Honestly, the fact that someone else has done this, and what can we do better, or how can we do things differently, or wow, someone did that and that was very interesting. So these are things that now we have started accepting, that it's, I think it's great that we are open to other people's ideas, and that gives us the drive to go on. I love interior designing because it brings joy. At the end of any project, when the clients appreciate it, when people who visit the space appreciate it, and you see the smiling faces, I think it gives me a lot of joy. That's why I'm a designer. Design in India is, I think, at the verge of becoming a mature market where things are now available from all around the world, like I mentioned before. And now what's gonna happen is it's gonna turn around where our Indian designers are soon gonna join a pool of international, very well acclaimed companies and individuals, because they are being recognized. These platforms are making a way for design and new talent come up, and people all around the world are accepting designers. So I feel for India, the next step is a lot of recognition. International recognition is coming our way.